Hey friends, welcome to another Hangout with Me, What I Eat in a Day, Blood Sugar Responses to Meals video. I'm going to be bringing you along on my meals and try to get some blood sugar responses at the end. On my last What I Eat in a Day video, I went into why I share my blood sugar. So if you have that question, I'll refer you back to that video. I'll put it up in the cards for you to check out so you can just kind of hear my explanation on why I'm not a diabetic. Spoiler. This morning, I already had my coffee. I just made a latte. I had 6 ounces of whole milk in it. That's how I started my day. So I talked in my last video about wanting to not have coffee on an empty stomach and to like have a little bit of food with the coffee first thing in the morning. And so I've been having, some kind of fruit usually in the morning with my coffee, but I've been going back and forth because I have, 5 to 6 ounces of whole milk in my coffee, which has some protein, which has some fat, which has some carbohydrates. And I'm like, doesn't that count as food with the coffee in the morning? So I'm kind of like, I might play with just having the coffee with, the milk and see how I do. I also don't think it's like a hard and fast rule that everyone for all time should never fast in the morning and never, always have some kind of food first thing when you wake up. I think for people that are recovering metabolically from maybe over fasting or lots of calorie restriction, or, lots of excess cortisol from lots of different kinds of stressors in life, that it can be a really good tool to, just make sure you're not stressing your body by doing that extra fasting in the morning. But it's not like a rule that everyone has to do forever. I don't feel like for me, I have to do it forever. So I've been kind of going back and forth on, have I done that long enough that, every once in a while, if I just have coffee in the morning, I don't think it's really going to wreck me. So I'm just kind of playing with that. So I just wanted to point that out, since on the last video, I talked about having food in the morning with my coffee. And then this one, I'm having just the coffee with the milk, which I think milk still counts as food. I mean, just ask a baby cow. Anyways, so I had that first thing this morning. I did a 30-minute stretching and mobility workout this morning with Seed Order Fitness here on YouTube. She's my favorite YouTube fitness channel. And I have my exercise class, my in-person exercise class tonight at 5:30. So I didn't do any kind of high intensity or anything. This morning, I just did the 30-minute stretch workout, and then I'll have that workout later today. I also started some bread. I've been enjoying doing some baking in the mornings, like before everybody else gets up. It's very, I don't know, it's very meditative and cathartic, and I love it. Being up in the morning, having on a podcast or some music or something, and then just making bread. So I got that started. It's still bulk fermenting on the counter. And so later when that's done, I will be shaping loaves and putting them in the fridge for baking either tomorrow or the next day. So I'll get that nice long cold ferment, which, makes the sourdough so much healthier for us and breaks down the gluten and all the things. There's something I've been thinking about with regards to my baking and the sourdough that I've been, playing with and working on. And that is just how different I am and my responses are now to things like sourdough bread than they were 3, 4, 5 years ago when I was, fully on a keto diet. Because I hear a lot of people, and I'm including myself in this lot of people, myself from 3, 4, 5 years ago, would have said, I just can't be around that kind of food. I can't have it in my house. I can't taste it. If I taste even one little bite, it'll be a trigger, and I'll just, eat the entire loaf of bread, and I'll just keep coming back to it. It'll keep calling my name. I was that person. But what I'm learning is that me being that person wasn't about me intrinsically, like just some way that I just am without any external circumstances. I have found one of the reasons I was that way was because of the diet that I was on. The diet influenced me being the person that was triggered by one bite of a sweet thing or a bread thing or whatever. And I found that once I reintroduced carbohydrates, now the dogs are going to come bark at me from across the street, so hopefully that's not too annoying. Once I reintroduced carbohydrates, whole food carbohydrates, got my body used to it, which took a long time. It is not an overnight thing. I've been on this journey for about 2 years to get to the point that I am now. And once I started just giving myself a baseline amount of whole food carbohydrates to the point where my body was satisfied and happy, felt secure, not in a famine state and in any way. Now I am able to have all the sourdough bread in my house. I'm able to bake many, many loaves every week, even things like cookies and desserts and things like that. I am able to bake them and eat them in moderation and not have that trigger to eat the entire batch or the entire loaf. So I'm definitely not trying to suggest that the way I am is the way everyone is, but I just am putting it out as my own personal experience, having been someone on a low carb keto and carnivore diet, feeling like I couldn't touch these foods or else I would lose control. I'm just that kind of person. I went from that to being a different kind of person. And it wasn't purely through like emotional work or anything like that. A big piece of it, and not the only piece, but a big piece of it was the diet that I just had as my baseline and the state that my body was in. I found being in a state of ketosis and eating that low carb diet on a daily basis caused or was a big cause of that trigger response that I had to the carbohydrates. And it makes perfect sense to me now because I feel like now that my body wanted the carbohydrates, I think that there are good things that carbohydrates, whole food carbohydrates, do in our bodies that my body wanted and felt like it needed. And so as soon as I would taste a little bit of whatever the carbohydrate food was, my body would respond and say, that is something I want. That is something I need. Let's eat more of that. And because of the state I was in, the signals were, crazy. And so, it was really hard to regulate. But once I did get a baseline of those carbohydrates, and the fiber and, all the whole food nutrients that come along with the carbohydrates, my body, has regulated. And so I can bake 20 loaves of bread a week and measure out the amount that I have for my meal, eat it, be satisfied, move on with my life. It doesn't call my name. I don't just lose control. It's not a trigger anymore. And the thing that changed, I just want to say this one more time. The thing that changed was the baseline diet that I was eating and the state that my body was in because of it. This came in the mail yesterday, and by the time this video comes out, this should be available on the website. Limited edition flavor, banana prime protein, perfect for summer smoothies. I have not tried it yet. It is not opened. I am going to make myself a banana cacao yogurt bowl. I'm going to mix up some Faya yogurt and then also a couple of ounces of my homemade probiotic yogurt made with half and half. So I don't want so much fat. So I don't use all of this because that would be a big load of fat in the morning. And so I mix it with the 2% Faya, and that works out really well. I'm going to add 2 bananas. Yes, I know 2 bananas are going to kill me because who in their right mind would eat 2 bananas in one meal? But I will try to check my blood sugar after so we can see if, my blood sugar handled it. So I'm going to do that and then sprinkle some cacao nibs on the top. Of course, the yogurt mixed with the prime protein. I will show you when it's done. The smell, when I open the bag, definitely banana. Sometimes the prime proteins can have like a weird smell and then the taste doesn't like match it quite. This one, 100% banana on the smell. And then I wanted to taste it without adding the real banana first, just to make sure. And they definitely nailed the banana flavor. It's like a real banana flavor to me. It's not like a candy banana flavor, like Laffy Taffy. It's definitely like, smells like you just peeled open a banana. It's very good. All right, there is yogurt down underneath all of those bananas. I got my crunchy cacao nibs on top. And this is my banana cacao breakfast bowl.
Banana cacao?
Banana cacao.
Banana cacao?
Say it 5 times fast.
Banana cacao.
Well, that was only one. Banana cacao, banana cacao.
Banana cacao, banana cacao, banana cacao, banana cacao, banana cacao, banana cacao.
This is 1 hour after my yogurt breakfast. 81. And here we are at 2 hours since my yogurt bowl. 76. Here's my very random bowl of leftovers and stuff in the fridge that I needed to use up. Also, lots of fresh veggies. So I have baby butter lettuce down here. I have some bell pepper. I have chopped up cucumber, kind of like a chopped salad type thing. I have green onions, and then I have some kidney beans, some shredded beef. This was just some beef roasts that I cooked up with some like Mexican style seasonings. It was 2 beef roasts. One was a top round, I think, or bottom round, and one was a chuck roast. So there was one that was fatty and one that was lean. And so it's kind of somewhere in the middle there. And then I have some of my rice grain blend here that I talked about on my last What I Eat in a Day video. It has lentils, quinoa, and jasmine rice. And then I have some pico de gallo, and I topped it with just a little bit of this Greek Primal Kitchen dressing. So it's kind of a salad, half rice bowl type deal. I just finished lunch and I'm feeling the need for some electrolytes, and it's, you know, like afternoon pick-me-up time. So I am going to do one of the new lemonade iced tea elements. This is their only current flavor that has caffeine added. It's just from the tea. So I don't like to drink this anytime after like maybe 3 p.m. And let's see, it's about 1 p.m. right now. So this is the perfect time for me to enjoy a lemonade iced tea. I'm going to get this mixed up, and then I will tell you more about Element, who is the sponsor of the video today. The lemonade iced tea is super refreshing on hot summer days like we have been having recently. I love how Element makes it easy to get your electrolytes in, and part of the way they make it easy is by making them so delicious. I don't have to remind myself to take it or talk myself into taking it. It's very easy because it tastes good, and I look forward to it. If you want to try out Element and see if Element electrolytes are right for you, you can get a free sample pack just by using my link, drinkelement.com/indigo, drinklmnt.com/indigo. Click that link. I'll have a clickable link down in the description. Head over to the website and place an order for anything there. And if you use my link to get there, you will automatically get a free sample pack added to your order. The sample pack has 4 of their most popular fruity flavors in it, like the packets, and it's 2 sticks of each flavor, so 8 sticks total. It's a great way to try out Element, see if it's right for you, or to pass on the gift of hydration to a friend. Thanks again to Element for sponsoring the video today. Here's 1 hour after my lunch, 83. And this is 2 hours after lunch, 83. Okay, so I'm making 4 sandwich loaves of sourdough bread. There's a honey wheat sourdough sandwich bread that I've been making that is my kid's favorite of all the breads that I've been making. And I decided to use that base recipe and try to make a few flavors. And so this is my first attempt at a different flavor of the sandwich bread. I'm hoping for it to be a smoked salt herb bread. I forgot to weigh my dough, so I know how much each loaf is supposed to be. So this is going to be 2 loaves of bread here, $8.40 for each loaf, 840 grams. So what I did was I reduced the amount of, because the sandwich bread I was making is honey wheat, so it has a good amount of honey in it. And so I reduced the honey because I didn't want it to be super sweet. So I did a bunch of herbs. Thyme, sage, parsley, and oregano are the herbs that I put in here. And then the salt is the Chef's Blend smoked salt from Redmond. I'm wondering if the smoked salt flavor will come through. I might need to put like some smoked salt on the top before I cook it. I'm gonna wait and see about that. So right now I'm doing the pre-shape, and then I let it sit on the counter for just a minute or 2 or 10 or 15. And then I will do the loaf shaping. I got these great parchment paper loaf liners that work super well. Just go right in there and make life easy. And they were fairly inexpensive as well on Amazon. Okay, now I'm going to do the loaf shaping. I'm not an expert on this. I'm just doing my best, always learning something about this sourdough stuff, but it's very fun. Very, very fun. All right. Do my diaper fold, and then I roll it like so, and then kind of get it tucked in here. I have my nice long loaf shape. It looks really pretty with all the herbs in there. I'm excited about it. I hope the flavors come through. Okay, into the pan. And the second one. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to let these sit on the counter for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then I will cover them and put them in the fridge for the cold proof overnight, possibly 2 nights if I don't get to it tomorrow. Okay, so like I told you, I have exercise class tonight at 5:30, and on the days when I have exercise class in the evening, dinner just does not really work because I don't want to eat a big dinner right before I work out, and then I get too hungry to like wait all the way until after I work out, you know, like around 7 for a big dinner. And so I usually just split my last meal and have like a small meal slash snack before, and then a small meal slash snack after. So that's what I'm doing today. And so I will show you my snack. I probably will not get blood sugar for this snack, possibly not the next one either, because, well, I'm gonna be at exercise class and all of that and running errands. So anyways, this is what I got. I have 8 ounces of cottage cheese. I have a few pickle spears and some medjool dates. Just finished exercise class. It's been a hot day, so it was a very hot exercise class, but it feels good to have it done. So I'm gonna go in and take a shower and probably have a little snack before winding down to bedtime. Here is my after workout snack. Got a Lineage bar, the best flavor, chocolate chip cookie dough, and a banana. Here's how my calories and macros broke down for the day. I got 1,966 calories, 130 grams of protein, 53 grams of fat, and then 247 grams of carbs, and 33 of those grams of carbs were coming from fiber.